How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame. We are back with another preseason FPL video, and today we're going to be looking at cheap forwards. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be looking at the forward line and seeing how you can get the most value out of those players going into the 2020-2021 FPL season. If you haven't done so already, slam a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Lots of content coming in as the weeks get closer and closer to the FPL season starting, and it's going to be even more when the season does kick off. Also, give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. It's PilotFlame226 on those platforms. We do have the Flames Recruits mini league up and running, so make sure to follow us over on Twitter. Link is in the Twitter bio for the league code, and we do our game week discussions weekly over on Twitch. Like I said, PilotFlame226, and also turn those notification bells on so you can get videos like this as soon as they are readily available. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first forward we have on our list is none other than the main man, the big man for West Ham, Mikel Antonio. West Ham's savior is now in the forward line. He's at £6.5 million for a forward this season. He was a midfielder and started at 7.5 last season. He scored 111 points, 10 goals, 4 assists, played just over 1,700 minutes, and averaged 4.6 points per game. Now, he's had his fair share of injury record, but with post-lockdown, he did maintain fit, looked very sharp, was very active, ran himself into the ground every game, and like we mentioned, was the savior really of West Ham, scoring the goals when it mattered the most. And it was probably one of his best, if not his definite best output attacking wise for West Ham since being at the club. It's just a matter of if he can keep fit, he can cause any defense problems. He showed that versus Chelsea, he showed that versus Norwich. Mind you, Norwich did get relegated for a reason, but again, he can still punish teams that just don't know what he's all about. He's very strong, very quick, good in the air, good with his feet, and is a danger to any team on the counter or on any form of set plays. And with Sebastian Haller coming into the team, they could form a very good partnership up front. Maybe they play them alongside each other in an attacking duo, and he kind of does a bit more defensive work, whereas you kind of keep Haller as more of the hold-up man, and Antonio runs in off him. That could be something I could definitely see as well. The only problem is that this also could maybe push Antonio a little bit wider, where you originally want him in the center of, like, in between the 18-yard box lines and be kind of taking a lot of shots like he did. However, maybe that's what the price reduction was for. We'll have to see in that regard. And another, kind of thing that's putting me off and potentially is his bad fixtures from game week 2 to game week 7 attacking wise, at least on paper and according to the FDR ratings. With the form that he was in, I think he could basically score against pretty much anybody. And he has a really good fixture to start the season. Newcastle at home. Could definitely score against Arsenal. Wolves did concede goals very late in a couple of games that they had post-lockdown. So I would say keep an eye on Mikel Antonio. Pay attention to preseason and see how they're playing, potentially if they're playing in a front two with Haller. And it could be something where you bring in the West Ham forward to start your team for the 2020-2021 season. The next cheap forward that we have on our list is none other than Alexander Mitrovic. Comes in at $6 million in the forward line this season for Fulham. He had a fantastic season in the Championship, 26 goals, 2 assists, playing just shy of 3,600 minutes, and he looks like he could be a very good asset to start the season. And when he came into the Premier League in the 2018-2019 season, he scored 5 goals in the first 6 games the last time he was in the Premier League. And the way Fulham have been playing and how they played in the Championship, a lot of the stuff goes through him, hence his very wide goal tally in terms of comparison to other strikers. He does very well for himself playing up front for Fulham. When he's in the right mindset, he can be quite powerful, can easily score a goal or two on his day. It's just a matter of if his team concedes or maybe gets a bit frustrated, shoots, and maybe it goes really wide or something like that, he can have a tendency to lose his cool, which ultimately makes him a yellow card magnet, unfortunately, where he can potentially mouth off the referee. Maybe an elbow here or two. So he does have that kind of, negative slant for him. But $6 million is very cheap for a forward that we know can score in the Premier League. It's just a matter of, is Mitrovic going to be on it? And I think he could be, especially to start the season. Arsenal at home could be a very good fixture on paper, attacking wise. Leeds away would have definitely known what they're all about, could potentially score against them. And then Aston Villa at home would have potentially also played against them not too recently, as they were in the Championship not too long ago. So it could be something where Mitrovic is in a mainstay in a lot of people's teams because money is tight at the beginning of the season, and he's definitely proven that he can score on his day. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have Mitrovic in my team going into the 2020-2021 FPL season. The next forward that we have on our list here is Che Adams, who comes in at $6 million in the forward slot for Southampton. He had 78 points last season, 4 goals, 4 assists, just shy of 1,100 minutes total played in the last season, and an average of 2.6 points per game. He looked very good with Danny Ings, linking up quite well, creating a good bit of chances, and also putting some of the chances that Danny Ings may have had some involvement in, as well as the likes of Nathan Redmond and Armstrong as well. They look to be kind of a well-oiled machine. Hasenhüttl had them playing quite well, and the front two kind of system seems to be favoring them as well. He could potentially also provide better value than Ings, who saw a pretty decent price increase this season. He's now at $8.5 million, so $2.5 million cheaper could be the thing that we need to balance out the budget while still being able to maintain some of the good fixtures that Southampton have to start the season. And as we mentioned before, he's a bit more balanced. Maybe he's going to be around the 10 goal, 10 assist mark this season. That would be probably an amazing season for Che Adams if he stays fit and maintains his place, whereas Danny Ings is probably going to see the 20 goals, 5 to 10 assists season, probably, if he stays fit as well. The only thing that I would say is a rotation risk with Long, so he might not reach those heights of 10 goals, 10 assists. If he gets 7 and 7 across the whole season, I think that would be quite good for him. Maybe Long might also get that as well, but we'll have to kind of see how things play out in preseason. But it's $6 million for a Southampton team that is very good going forward. If he maintains his place, he might be a better option than some of the other $6 million forwards that you're looking at going into the 2020-2021 FPL season. And the last forward we have on our list here is a bit of a wild card one, I will admit. It's Kelechi Iheanacho from Leicester City. He comes in at $6 million as well in the forward slot, had 64 total points last season with 5 goals, 4 assists, and he didn't even play 1,000 minutes, which is quite a good return for him. 3.2 points averaged per game. Now, for someone like him, again, we have to kind of classify him in the $6 million forward bracket. If Leicester start playing 2 up top game in, game out, which I feel that could be their best possible formation that they could use, Iheanacho could be quite good. 4 million less than Jamie Vardy, and they looked a lot better post restart when he was in the team. For some reason, Rodgers went through this weird rotation where he was subbing him off at halftime against Bournemouth, dropping him completely from the squad some games, then bringing him right back in the following game. Just a bit weird to me to see that he wasn't playing. He was doing very good, especially with the likes of Jamie Vardy and creating space for Vardy to kind of thrive, which is ultimately why Vardy ended up winning the Golden Boot, getting a lot of goals towards the latter half and post restart of the season. Also, another thing that we have to mention is that Maddison is back, so the creativity in midfield is going to be a lot better. However, they're still kind of weakened defensively. They're not going to have Pereira for at least the first 3 to 4 weeks or so. Johnny Evans is suspended because he did get a red card versus Manchester United, so he won't be there for at least the first game week or 2. I'm not sure how long his suspension was. Can't remember if it was a straight red or 2 yellows. But I think he's definitely going to be a miss. But attacking wise, Iheanacho, if he's playing, I'm definitely looking at him as well. Amazing differential. Like I said, if Leicester go 3-5-2, so you can play 3 center backs, so they'll play Bennett, Soyuncu, and then one other, and then you play James Justin out one side, and they're looking to bring in Tagliafico, who could play as left wing back on the other side. That could be good. You can play with the likes of Tielemans and Ndidi kind of playing the 2, you kind of sitting pivot in the midfield with Maddison just ahead of them, and then you have the likes of Iheanacho and Vardy kind of just running into the channels. That seems to me like a really good formation. And then you can switch it up by bringing on Harvey Barnes, or maybe Iosi Perez comes in there and it kind of mixes things up in the midfield. Maybe they switch it to a 4-4-2. Who knows? There's a lot of different things that Rodgers can definitely do, but I think 3-5-2 looks very good for them, and they were quite successful with it, especially with James Justin as well, who's another defender that we're also kind of looking at. There's only one caveat in that: as soon as Pereira comes back, he might be rotated out immediately. And as we mentioned, if he's starting and he's 4 million less than Vardy, it's a no-brainer for me. He's probably going to score similar-ish totals, maybe not as much as Vardy. If Vardy scores 5 goals, he may score 2 to 3, which You're going to get that out of a 6 million forward. I'm going to take that every day of the week. And we have to kind of, again, put him in the same bracket as the likes of Mitrovic and Che Adams. If he's scoring 1 and 3, he's definitely a good option at 6 million. So I'm going to be looking at Iheanacho going into next season. And that's going to do it for this preseason FPL video on cheap forwards. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Lots of content coming your way, and you got to turn that notification bell on so that you can get it as soon as it is readily available. Also, make sure to give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. It's PilotFlame226 on those platforms. We do have our mini league, as mentioned previously, set up, ready to go. Flames recruits. Go over on Twitter. The link will be in the bio, as well as the league code should be there as well. And you can just collect that, put it in, join the league, and then off you go. If you win the league, your name will be in the description for all the FPL videos in the following season, and you get a shout out at the end of the season and at the beginning of the next season as well. Also, we do our game week discussions over on Twitch. Like I said, PilotFlame226 over there. The next one that we'll be doing will be Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. We'll be discussing what happened in the Community Shield and see how Arsenal and Liverpool lined up in that competition. So thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.